I'm now going to share with you a true divine revelation that was given to me by the Lord, and I sent this to someone in Israel on February 18th of 2015, but I'm just now revealing it for the first time, and it should absolutely stun everybody who hears it, because it truly came from the Lord. I'm going to read what I wrote from the email that I sent to Israel as a warning, and I call it my Raca revelation, or Raca. R-A-K-A, Raca, or R-A-Q-Q-A-H. This pertains to the last days and reveals something incredible. So hold on and listen tight here. You're about to get blown away. But first, I have two little pals that just ran down the hill towards me, and they want to be on camera. The other bunny ran off. Okay, so now I'm going to read my divine revelation that I sent to Israel. I sent this February 18th, 2015. I now have something to share with you that was a divine revelation that the Lord gave me the other day. No one on earth knows this. There was something in the New Testament I was pondering in the book of Matthew. When I questioned this, the Lord immediately gave me an astonishing answer to it. At the time, I was just telling one of my family members that the Lord had shown me something about Matthew 5:22. When Yeshua, Jesus, was speaking, he said something about this word, Raka, R-A-K-A. No one has ever known what this was, so they tried to explain it away by saying Raqqah means you jerk, or something like that. But strangely, immediately after I sent this to someone, as I was questioning if it had to do with R-A-Q-Q-A-H, Raca, the ISIS stronghold, I went and typed in the word R-A-K-A, Raca, in the search box, and found it is about Islam. I was so shocked that I immediately sent another email showing them that the Lord had just shown me that Yeshua, Jesus, was speaking about Islam in the same breath as he was talking about murder, and that they would be subject to the judgment and hellfire. By the way, this is not my opinion. This is fact I'm going to prove here. This was absolutely stunning because no Christians have ever known this at all. This just happened moments ago on February 9th of 2015. And then I sent this email on the 18th in 2015. That was only a few months after my book was published, when the Lord was revealing so much to me about Yeshua. When this happened, I knew the Lord was still revealing things to me, to my astonishment. Look at what Yeshua said about Raka, and get this, Yeshua said it at least 700 years before Muhammad came on the scene. It was a divine prophecy revealed before my eyes. Matthew 5:21 through 22, about anger and reconciliation. You have heard that the ancients were told, you shall not commit murder, and whoever commits murder shall be liable to the court. But I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother shall be guilty before the court, and whoever says to his brother, Raca, shall be guilty before the Supreme Court, and whoever says, you fool, shall be guilty enough to go into the fiery hell. I said in my email, could this word Raca, possibly the English spelling, be the same as R-A-Q-Q-A or R-A-Q-Q-A-H in Arabic? Because this is the ISIS stronghold where they are slaughtering their brothers, murdering them in barbaric ways. So it means that whoever says to his brother Raca will be subject to the judgment and will be subject to be sent to the fiery hell for murdering their brothers like fools. This is something I was pondering after seeing R-A-Q-Q-A-H, Raqqa, in the news. The news said a group of Syrian activists known as Raqqa is being slaughtered silently. Told the Independent the man that was taken to Raqqa countryside was murdered in front of a crowd of people. Here is what I found when I typed in R-A-K-A, which is indeed R-A-Q-Q-A-H or R-A-Q-Q-A, Raqqa. Yeshua was saying that they would be subject to hellfire. It blows my mind that he said this hundreds of years before Islam became prevalent in the 700s. This is stunning because it was about the future. Raqqa is one unit of Islamic prayer where they are bowing and prostrating 5 times a day. Define Raqqa at dictionary.com. R-A-K-A, Islam, a portion of the Salat, the prescribed prayers, and said 5 times a day, that combined a ritual of bows and prostrations with the recitation of prayers. In the Wikipedia, Free Encyclopedia, Raqqa says, it can refer to a Turkish rendering of the Arabic geographical name R-A-Q-Q-A-H or R-A-K-A apostrophe A-H. And that's not all that the Lord showed me. It goes even farther than that. It actually reveals Mystery Babylon as mentioned in the book of Revelation, the beast rising up out of the sea. Islam is worshiping the dog star, the star that is on their flag. Now here is what the Lord revealed to me about that. I was just looking up about the dog star, which is worshipped in Islam. Wow! Check this out. It mentioned Asherah, which is the same as Asherah. It's Asherah. This was the abomination that they were worshiping in Israel that made God furious. It is connected to Babylon, and that is the star that they worship in Islam. It says in this article that they used to offer sacrifices to these 2 abominations, Zeus and Sirius. Zeus was the abomination of desolation, as mentioned in the book of Maccabees in the Apocrypha. That is unbelievable. She is also considered to be from the sea, so the beast rising from the sea is Islam. Incredible. The Lord is coming soon, I think, to be revealing all these things now. And here are some clips out of the article about it. Sirius is the brightest star in the solar system, called the dog star, because the star forms a canine. Remember what Yeshua said about heaven, that outside are the dogs. I think Sirius is the dog star, the one inside the crescent moon that they depict on their flags. Now, remember I told you that I revealed the man of sin, that the moon was called sin. So they're worshiping the man of sin. And I'm revealing the Antichrist to you right now. Dog star Sirius, or the dog star, was an object of worship amongst ancient Arabs and is mentioned in the Quran under the name of Asherah in their book of Surah. And it says, quote, He, God, is the Lord of the dog star, based on Hughes' Dictionary of Islam. In the Bible, it is written about heaven that the dogs do not enter it. This is in Revelation 22:15. Outside are the dogs, those who practice magic, sorcerers, immoral people, murderers, idolaters, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood. And they have their false prophet. Every prophet of God in the Bible was pretty much a Jew. Now from this gives a little more information about the dog star in Wikipedia. Observational history. Sirius, known in ancient Egypt as Sopdet, Greek Sothis, is recorded in the earliest astronomical records. During the era of the Middle Kingdom, Egyptians based their calendar on the heliacal rising of Sirius, namely the day it becomes visible just before sunrise after moving far enough away from the glare of the sun. This occurred just before the annual flooding of the Nile and the summer solstice, after a 70-day absence from the skies. The hieroglyph for Sothis features a star and a triangle. Sothis was identified with the great goddess Isis, who formed a part of a triad with her husband Osiris and their son Horus, while the 70-day period symbolized the passing of Isis and Osiris through the dust, Egyptian underworld. The ancient Greeks observed that the appearance of Sirius heralded the hot and dry summer, and feared that it caused plants to wilt, men to weaken, and women to become aroused. Due to its brightness, Sirius would have been noted to twinkle more in the unsettled weather conditions of early summer. To Greek observers, this signified certain emanations which caused its malignant influence. Anyone suffering its effects was said to be starstruck. It was described as burning or flaming in literature. The season following the star's heliacal rising with the sun, came to be known as the dog days of summer. The inhabitants of the island of Chios in the Aegean Sea would offer sacrifices to Sirius and Zeus to bring cooling breeze, and would await the reappearance of the star in summer. If it rose clear, it would portend good fortune. If it was misty or faint, then it would foretold pestilence. Coins retrieved from the island from the 3rd century BC featured dogs or stars with emanating rays, highlighting Sirius's importance. The Romans celebrated the heliacal setting of Sirius around April 25th, sacrificing a dog along with incense, wine, and a sheep to the goddess Robigo, so that the star's emanation would not cause wheat rust on wheat crops that year. Just as the appearance of Sirius in the morning sky marked summer in Greece, so it marked the chilly onset of winter for the Maori, whose name Tekarua described both the star and season. Its culmination in the winter solstice was marked by celebration in Hawaii, where it was known as Ka'alua, Queen of Heaven. The book of Jeremiah, written circa 628 BC, possibly refers to Asherah when it uses the title Queen of Heaven, stating, "Pray thou not for this people. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings to their other gods, that they may provoke me to anger." And it lists Jeremiah 7:18, Jeremiah 44:17 through 19 and 25. For a discussion of Queen of Heaven in the Hebrew Bible, see Queen of Heaven. Now, I had one more side note to this that's pretty interesting. The Roman Church is calling Mary the Queen of Heaven. This is an abomination. Mary was a Jewish woman who worshiped the living God in Jerusalem and followed the Torah. To see how the Roman Church has twisted the truth on this, Yeshua is for the Jews, not against them. Here we see that Islam is connecting to the same thing as Rome. Yeshua was not pagan, Mary was not pagan, but they are making them look like it to confound the Jewish people. It's crazy. These are true things that explain why the Roman Pope got together with Islam to try to destroy the children of God. Very interesting. And this is a divine revelation from God. For the couple of men who got on my channel and told me that I was a false prophetess or a false prophet or whatever, I never claimed to be a prophet. But if God has spoken to me, then why shouldn't I speak the words that God gave me? Part of the curse of Eden was for the men to rule over women, which was not God's will in the beginning. It was part of the curse. So please stop treating women the way you are. And let us speak the truth, because God reveals his secrets to men and women. He pours out his spirit on men and women, his handmaidens. That's what we are. Thank you for listening. This is a true divine revelation, and I hope it goes along with my other video where I revealed the man of sin in detail. And there was another video before that one where I started with the word iniquity. So go back and look at those videos. This is a divine revelation of God. Those are the doves flying over. I just wanted to say one more thing. That some of the elite Jews with the Sanhedrin, the new Sanhedrin, Rabbi Hollander, claimed that they worship the same God as Islam, and that their Messiah is the Mahdi. And this couldn't be further from the truth, because Yeshua HaMashiach of Nazareth fulfilled so many prophecies, and now you can add this one to the list, because a true prophet of God, says things that come true, and Yeshua said this word, Raka, about murder and hellfire 700 years before Muhammad took that and made it into a major religion. But it was already in the Ancient of Days, going back, as Hollander said, to the Garden of Eden. Because Satan was in the garden, and he's going to try to place himself in God's holy temple. They said that the new temple was going to be considered to be a mosque. Adnan Akhtar said this. Anyway, I have much more to say. Like I said, this is something that was revealed to me by the Lord himself, and I'm sharing it now. It's not my opinion. I'm not trying to condemn anybody or say hateful things about anybody. It's just a warning, because the Lord said to snatch some out of the fire. And so if I can give the truth out, maybe we can snatch some people out of the fire. And time is short, obviously, because this has been revealed. Perhaps the most astonishing fulfillment of this prophecy of Jesus, Yeshua, in Matthew 5, is the part of verse 22 when he said, "But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment, and whosoever shall say to his brother, Raca, shall be in danger of the council, but whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire." These were Jesus' words. So let me tell you something. It just so happens that the missiles that they used to fight in Raqqa were hellfire missiles. And that should astonish you, because Jesus said these words so many thousands of years ago and prophesied that these people saying this against their brother and murdering their brothers would have to deal with the hellfire. And the hellfire missiles rained down on them to destroy them and took their lives away. So they came under the judgment through the hellfire missiles. And I just think that that is an incredible fulfillment of Jesus' words. So I just wanted to share that part of it too. And that is absolutely an astonishing divine revelation that the Lord gave me, which I share with you. Amazing, isn't it? Just absolutely stunning.